Hello everybody, welcome back to another video on the ChaddyTheChump channel, and today we are going to be doing another fancy Premier League video ahead of Game Week 11. Again, it's another big game week, as is every other game week. Some very good matches, some very interesting matches. And I'm hoping to do as well as I have been, because I've been on quite good form recently. Obviously, 74 points in Game Week 10, which we are going to talk about in just a sec. 78 in Game Week 9, 71 in Game Week 8, 60 in Game Week 7, 65 in Game Week 6. So it has been a very, very good recent form. And now let's talk about Game Week 10. It was a very good week. We got more green arrows, which you always love to see. Of course, the goal is to get under 1 million. We're not quite there yet, but I'm hoping to get there reasonably soon. And the attack did brilliant for us this week. I mean, the attack did so well. Haaland doing what Haaland does. João Pedro getting the points in, and so did Victor Gyökeres, but there is a massive red mark on him, which isn't good, and we will need to deal with that. The midfield didn't do as well, a bit disappointing. Anderson got the most in midfield with 4 points. You know, Saka, ever since I brought him in, hasn't been doing well, but I still believe he can do well, especially with Sunderland this game week. And Buemo as well, I'm hoping he can do pretty good. And Gabriel in the defence did so good. I mean, he feels like a cheat, because as a defender he's just crazy good. I mean, 12 points, 9 points, 12 points, 9 points, 13. That's something a striker would get, not a defender. So he has been doing above the normal rate that would be a good defender. Of course, Richards as well, getting in 6 points, great value for money. And some not doing well. Donnarumma isn't doing as well as I would have liked, but hopefully he will get on better form. But Game Week 11. Now, we have got some very big issues we are going to have to deal with. And the main one is Victor Gyökeres. Muscle injury, right? At first it was just a knock. Then it went down to a muscle injury, 50% chance. Now there's a 25% chance of him playing, which is not good, and basically means he won't play. And I don't know how long he isn't going to play, but it doesn't look very nice. So unfortunately, despite me keeping him all the times he's blanked, oddly, the game week where he's going is one where the previous game week he actually brought points in, you know. But he's been a loyal guy in the club despite blanking a lot, and this is the end, unfortunately, for Victor Gyökeres. That injury just means he can't stay in the squad. But with a player going out, there's always a player that has to go back in. And there may be a few options, right? The main one is Juan-Philippe Mateta, of course, at Crystal Palace, doing exceptionally well. Other options include cheaper, like Thiago Bowen-Welbeck. Isidore as well is pretty good for Sunderland, but it is going to be Mateta, because he's been doing very well. He's on penalties, he's their main striker, you know, and 9 points against Brentford, 17 against Bournemouth, 6 against West Ham. You know, he's been doing pretty decent, and that Bournemouth one was a big one. And he has blanked some game weeks, but he's got some pretty good fixtures. Brighton at home, Wolves away, but Wolves aren't the best side. United at home is still a home match, and United aren't the best but are getting better, and then Burnley away is quite a reasonably easy one, and Fulham's a decent match as well. So it just seems like the fixtures are on his side. Price isn't an issue, to be honest, and there's no other better ones to get. So Mateta is going to be replacing Gyökeres. Okay, but now we've got another bit of an issue with Mohamed Kudus. He's got a knock and a 50% chance of playing. Now, I do want to keep him, right, because I think he is a good player and he is a differential as well. But it just seems a bit like you're keeping this guy, and is he, you know, how long is he going to be out for? But if we were to replace him, the option, Semenyo is an option, right? We can afford him. We can afford any midfielder except from about two, which is Salah, who we obviously got rid of and probably isn't value for money, and Palmer, who's injured, who I'm clearly not going to bring in. Fernandes, of course, is an option, but I don't really want to double up on Man United. It seems too risky. If they have a bad game week, then I'm done for. Semenyo as well has proved to be good, but I feel like every man and his dog has Semenyo. You know, I don't want Semenyo. Wirtz isn't that good, really. I mean, he's a good player, but in terms of FPL, he's not really been that good. Foden, again, pretty decent, but Man City's just risky in terms of starting. And then, you know, you got Eze, but to be honest, I kind of want to use an Arsenal player to be at the back, which we are going to talk about in just a sec. But Mohamed Kudus is going to stay in the squad, and I'm actually going to be making another transfer this week, and it will be a defender, and it's actually going to be Esteve, right? I've got the budget. I'm going to replace Esteve for an Arsenal defender because we got rid of Gyökeres. Double up on Arsenal defence, right? They're doing exceptionally well. They're just getting clean sheets all the time. Now, knowing my luck, I'm going to double up on an Arsenal defence and Sunderland are going to score against Arsenal. But I don't think that will happen. I think Arsenal are just, you know, a machine, basically. And we are going to be bringing in an Arsenal defender now. The three options, Yorin Timber, Saliba or Calafiori, right? All good players. And I'm actually going to bring in Calafiori. Now, hear me out here. He's more of a differential than Saliba or Yorin Timber. And he plays basically all of the time. He has still very good matches, right? He's on a run of 4 games, getting 6 points a game. That's what I want out of my defender. That's called playing it safe. And with Arsenal, it's a good move. And he does get goals, you know, and I think he will get some goals and some assists. So I am going to be bringing Calafiori for Esteve. Okay, let's make these two transfers, Mateta and Calafiori to Esteve and Gyökeres. Let's do it. Boom. Now let's talk about the team for this week, right? Kudus isn't going to play because I don't think he'll start against United, and he probably not going to do much anyways, and I'm going to be replacing him with Calafiori. That is the starting 11 for this week, a 4-3-3 formation. Double up on Arsenal defence, and we've got Saka. We've got a very good attack. In terms of captaincy, right, are we going to give it to Mateta, or are we going to keep it on Haaland? To be honest, this is a tough one. This is a very, very tough one. You know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it, and I might regret this. I might regret it, but Haaland's got a tough match against Liverpool. I am going to captain Mateta, and that's the first kind of big decision I've made in a little while. But I hope that it comes out to be a good decision, and Mateta just score 1 or 2. It's Brighton at home. Come on, you can do it. And that is the team. There we go. That is my FPL Game Week 11 team. Comment down below your thoughts ahead of this game week and what transfers have you made. I want to know, so comment down below, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.